For example, the company I work for, the most famous MC in the USA. I
Which
don't
one?
even have to tell
TQL?
you. You know,
TQL?
no, Carrier MC
Oh,
slash,
Carrier. Super
yeah,
Ego, bro?
slash. Let's call it double broker, how everybody calls it. But only fools do it. That's why our reputation is not so well in the brokerage side. No, Landstar.
Oh, Landstar. Oh, damn. You're part of Russian Landstar or regular Landstar?
No, I'm not Russian. I'm Bosnian.
Oh, well, yeah, I know, but because every gets mad every time I say Russian Landstar, you got all the Ukrainian people. There's not Russian Landstar, it's Ukrainian Land. Like, dude, sorry, man, it got the nickname already years ago. Like,
Well,
we're not gonna change the nickname now, dude. You know what I mean? So like,
well,
it is
fun
what it is.
fact: Ukrainian office, it got most of it, like 90% of it, got shut down when the war started.
Oh shit, yeah, there you go. I didn't even think
Yeah,
about that.
like the most of those agents are gone. But no, I'm just on the asset side in the contract business. And like lately, how this fuel and everything else, like for our VCOs, like in some parts, like let's call it Texas and like Carolinas in the Midwest, or like God forbid California, like there's no rate that a BCO would even take it. Like they'd rather stay home for a couple of weeks because of the fuel and everything else. Like they'd rather stay home versus have like 250, 260 a mile
Yeah, because then I get like
expensive just
30.
to drive.
How much you get? Like 30, 35% slashed off that rate, though, right? That's why.
Depends on the trailer. If you're pulling a Landstar equipment on a normal box, you're getting 65. If you have your own, you're getting, I believe, like 7-8% more. And then open decks are right up there. I believe they take like 20-29% out of it.
Oh,
But I mean, you do have a great discounts and everything else, and I mean, only people that are deeply inside can understand it because of the revenue that's being produced. But still, like people that are not on a contracted account, on a dedicated account, that are on our internal boards, they are suffering currently a lot.
yeah, but because they're stuck too, right? Because they can't go outside of the BCOs to get the loads. That's the whole thing I don't understand about the Landstar shit is like because okay, so as Landstar, right? Because obviously the MCs and all that kind of shit. So if they can only take loads internally, why wouldn't they be able to take loads from outside of the company? And then another question is, which I probably should have asked somebody this a long time ago. Can't a Landstar like BCO take a load from a broker and then give it to that driver and then still collect the money from it?
No. So you have a couple different divisions within the company, and everything has to go to an agent because at the end of the day, we are an agent owner operator program. You have a BCOs, the business capacity owners that just own a truck and drive it. You have a fleet owners of the BCOs, and you have agents. But both of those sides must go through us. It's not an issue, I mean, if a BCO has a relationship from a previous company with, let's call it XYZ brokerage out there, they can still call the guy, but they have to have an agent to get that load through and
So
get it to the
that's what I'm
system.
saying. An agent could call a broker, book a load, and then give it to the Landstar driver and still take the 35%.
Uh, the Landstar takes or the agents.
Okay, so say for example, right? There, you got the Landstar driver, right? The guy that's getting the 35% taken from. Say you got a drive van, whatever the hell. So now, say there's one of you guys that got the loads, right? So
Mhm.
say for example, like the agent calls the broker, books it under Landstar, right? Say from fucking just say TQL, just to fucking have two good brokers out there, and then takes the load from TQL and then gives it to the truck and still take 35% of whatever TQL gave them, or does it have to
Yeah.
be customer freight only?
Yeah, no, everything is, split model. Everything doesn't matter if it's a direct, if it's a brokerage, if it's anything, it has to go to the corporate, and it's a split model at the end of the day for everything.
Damn, dude. So I'm doing something.
Yeah,
I should just open up.
everything.
I should open up a fucking Landstar agency and start selling brokers loads to these trucks.
Well, we have new rules. Well, not so new that they've been in industry for the past couple of years. To open up an agency, you have to have a book of business, but no brokers on it. You have to have a direct book of business to transfer to Landstar, and then you can still book. 3PLs, brokerages outside of it, but your book of business, the main one that you're transferring, has to have only direct inside.
Got it. So, but then a lot of times, like a lot of brokers won't even work for Landstar. Like you, that's like the most popular comment on the DAT load board is like no Landstar.
Yeah, because you had agencies in the past that had no knowledge about the industry, had no training prior to it, and they were just giving a PC. I mean, not my agency. There were those, like, how you guys call it, Russian agencies. They just get a PC, they get a fucking phone, start dialing. They have no clue, and then they just start brokering shit out. You know, it's okay to broker the shit out if you have agreements. Like, without agreement, like, you're fucked if it goes sideways.
Well, yeah, because what they're doing is just booking under carrier MCs, and then they're saying that they're like they have a different company. They're saying that's the customer, and then they run it through that, and then they're trying to make like $100 $200 off a load, maybe three whatever, and then like and that shit
Well,
just pisses me off because like you'll have a truck, and you want to book a load, and then fucking one of those guys gets it, and then you don't, and then like 5 minutes later you see the same load being posted by Landstar. You're like, son of a bitch, dude. And like,
well,
and I'm not a snitch, so I'm not gonna call the broker and be like, "Hey, bro, fucking Landstar has added a gun." You know what I mean? All right, yeah. But I was gonna say, Landstar used to be so good, man. Landstar used to be like one of those fucking like when you called the Landstar agent like 10 years ago, like you knew you were calling about a good load. You know what I mean? Like everything was good, dude. And then Russian Landstar came along, and just like ruined the game. I actually called Landstar like before I started doing this, way before I started doing the social media shit. And I asked him like, "What's going on with that?" You know what I mean? And the guy just basically told me, man. He's like, "Listen, we're making money off it. We don't give a shit." Basically, that's what they said. So I think Landstar like shot themselves in the dick a little bit with this because they could have been like one of those companies like a CH Robinson, RXO, you know what I mean, like shit like that. And now kind of like they're like looked down upon in the industry because of what they're doing.
yeah, yeah, Bobby. But look at this. Like, when you take statistics, and I have some data on my side. Landstar's name, well, it's clearing. It's muffling through the air and the water right now. It's gonna clear out soon, and people gonna see who the good guys within the company are. But when you take, for example, TQL is double brokering. God knows how much more loads than the, let's call it, Russian agents
Yeah,
here.
but
But
TQL, I don't think they're double
it's all
brokering.
about the name.
I think they're
It's all about the name
co-brokering.
because Lance. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know if you heard about a case. There was that company that was about to be shut down a couple months ago, and they were everything tendered to the TPL, or was it some other company, the big box brokerage, and they were just double brokering through it. I believe it was JB's Loads or something like that. I can't remember, but those corporations, they have so much money that they can just shut you up, shut you down, like remove it from the browser. Like, they will pay money to put that aside.
Yeah,
And
plus their,
Landstar
their
wasn't willing
contracts are
to put it.
fucking all in favor of them and their court systems and their county
Exactly.
and everything. But I'm so okay, so I'm curious. But like, what do you mean like so they're booking loads under carriers and then they're putting it through TQL? You're saying?
And I mean, I saw personally, when I used to work with 3PLs, I don't work with them anymore. Um, Broker giving out smaller brokers. I mean, same thing. It was on our side. Smaller brokers, if they're under 2 3 years and they do not have credit scores with a lot of factoring companies, they'd rather give it to another big box brokerage, make a couple bucks of it, and make sure that it's gonna get covered because those guys, they have credit ratings and everything else.
You know.
But
Versus
how do
just
you
laying
know
it
that
away.
there's not co-broker agreements established? I mean, there you can't. It's hard to. By the way, hey guys,
How's it
Right.
going?
it's hard to kind of call that out when just respectfully, Landscar kind of made a name for doing that for years and years and years.
Yeah, because
So
TQL
it,
has those agents that call nonstop to to places and ask for co-brokering agreements. I know of that for sure.
yeah, I mean, it's coming from a larger. brokerage, XPO, now RXO, and now I'm in, kind of the mid-sized brokerage. You see more and more brokers going to co-brokerage agreements. I mean, my own company, we have several of them, and it's just to protect ourselves.
Oh, you just echoed a
And
little
and
bit.
no, we are fine with co-brokering agreements. That's not an issue. I was just trying to explain that there are those smaller
Wait,
brokerages
hold on.
that
Sorry.
would rather co-broker for
Zamir
bigger guys.
Ibranovich, you gotta like turn down because I'll let you unmute yourself, but you gotta. If you're listening to it, you're causing an echo, bro. So you have to like. I don't know if you're listening to it and calling in, but if you could try to fix that, and then I send you an invite to unmute. So if you fix that, you could go ahead and unmute yourself. All right. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, buddy. Sorry, because we had an echo.
No, no, all good. No, no, as I said, I'm fine with the co-brokers, and that's not an issue because those smaller companies are just trying to find capacity to get the load moving, but then you have an industry of drivers or I don't know other people that do not understand co-brokering, and they all call it the same name, double brokers.
Yeah, I mean
What
that's
it's
people that
not.
don't understand it, but yeah, there's a big difference between because a lot of times a brokerage will sign a co-brokering agreement with you, and you know what I mean, and do it. So I get what you're saying from. Then there's also like
And
rail double brokering too, like where people just like when you're
Oh
doing
yeah.
rail, you broker it to your dock, and then you're taking it the rest of the way, which is a little bit different than just straight up like double brokering for like to make an extra 100 or two on the load, you know what I mean, off the load, and then
Exactly.
sell it the whole way across too. So we got two more new guys on here. We got Pain of Truth and Zamir. What's going on, guys?
Hey guys, not much. I actually just wanna see. I see one of my Dino is from country where I'm from Bosnia. I've been in this business over 20 years, man, and I did not. I'm not sure how can you work for Landstar. That's the worstest company
Ooh,
you
we got
can
a
work
fight. We got a
for.
little Serbian fight coming on, dude. Go.
Not Serbian, Bosnia.
Oh,
We are
Bosnia, sorry.
Bosnia.
Little Bosnia. Oh, shit. So you're from one part of Bosnia, he's from the other part, bro. You guys don't like each other. Go.
Now
Tito, bro.
I live in the United States, and I've been in this business over 20 years. I work for many companies. I'm from Grand Rapids, and probably you guys, there's a bunch of companies here. And I heard him talking about Landstar. Uh, so as soon as you hear the accent, stay away from them. Trust me, man.